There are plenty of times in our lives when we realise that things have changed and it dawns on us that actually we need to change as well in response to those changes. We realise we're going to have to think differently, live differently. Our old patterns are not adequate for the future, even if they were adequate for the past. Going into lockdown and coming out of it has been an excellent example of this for millions of people. As we went into lockdown, we entered a different world. As we emerge from lockdown, which is where we are as I make this video, as we emerge from lockdown, we're again going into the unknown. We're going into new territory. We're going to have to think differently. We're going to have to behave differently. We're going to need some radical rethinking about many aspects of our lives. When Jesus met people, we see them having to do a major rethink on their lives. Many of them changed direction significantly. So we read of tax collectors. These were collaborators with the occupying Roman powers, hated by many people. We see tax collectors like Zacchaeus and Matthew. They did a U-turn and became a follower of Jesus. And we see Jesus being with people who'd switched from the violent revolutionaries, the Zealots of the time, fighting the Romans, to being a pacifist follower of Jesus. One of Jesus' disciples was called Simon the Zealot, because obviously he was an ex-Zealot. In John's Gospel, we read of Jesus meeting with a Samaritan woman by a well. They discuss water. It's a good topic because it's so rich in symbolism. And this enabled Jesus to gently challenge many of the ideas that this woman was living by. She went away having to rethink her life. The disciples were radically challenged by this encounter. Jesus, a Jewish man, he was not supposed to talk to a woman in this way. And even more, a woman with a dubious reputation. And it just keeps going because she was also a Samaritan, a despised foreigner as far as the Jews were concerned. There were 3 layers of ideas the disciples were challenged to rethink. Jesus is a reshaper of people. We will all go through times in our lives when things change or life becomes uncertain. Awareness things will probably not return to the way they were. We're going to have to create a new normal, a new life. Well, very obviously COVID-19 has delivered this in abundance to UK. Times of dramatic change are an ideal time to do some serious thinking about our lives and who we want to be. We know we will have to change, so get the process right as we do it. Here's a suggestion. Try reading one of the Gospels and see how people meeting with Jesus were changed by him. This may bring you into contact with Jesus in a way that means he can shape you as well. Let's finish with a prayer. Loving Lord Jesus, when we experience times of upheaval and come to realise that the way we have been is not the right direction, help us to make the changes that are needed. As we look at the changes that took place in Zacchaeus and the woman at the well, as they met with you in Palestine, meet with us today and empower us to change, to become the people you created us to be. And enable us to give others the support and encouragement they need when changing in response to challenging times. Amen.